Thoughts and Friends, episode 75. We're recording this the 22nd of May. It's Sunday night. The PGA Championship has just concluded. Justin Thomas defeats Will Zalatoris in a playoff. There's a major collapse we got to talk about. Game 3 of the Mavericks Warriors is happening right now. NHL hockey, big weekend in the world of sports. How we doing?
Look, I'm settling into my new home. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not as locked in to sports as I normally am. I think this time of summer, if you're not an NBA fan, that's the case with most people that like sports. We're not quite at this dead period. Once the NBA is over, then it gets real sparse. But I think what I've found and where I've grown is that I think the dead zone, I need the break from being like NFL to college basketball to NBA. I need the downtime.
The summer break to just like be a normal human is nice. It's good. It's totally necessary because I'm a degenerate from September to like mid-June, early June till the NBA's over.
Yeah, and I don't know if I should because I find myself even lately feeling more obligated than even wanting to watch some of this shit. Like this Mavs Warriors series.
Yeah.
Just no juice for me.
No, we were just talking. I did not watch 1 second of game 2. I just couldn't get myself. I was watching whatever. I mean, there was like maybe a movie on or like the UFC on Saturday, something just else was on. I just haven't been that locked into these a few series in these playoffs. We'll talk a little more recap, but yeah, it just doesn't have the same juice as I thought it would. The Bucks Celtics was awesome. There's been a couple good series, some good games, but overall, not really drawing me in like it usually does.
If you're listening and you think it sounds much better, it's because you got the setup figured out a little bit.
Because it does.
Got some professional. Well, I got the same microphone. I just have bought a way to hook it up to my computer. If you're watching, soundproof.
Very
hardly
cool.
even tell. I mean, you probably couldn't even hear that because it was so soundproof with my my tiles. So
you're pretty official. You're pretty official.
I mean,
it's a production over here.
Step below Sirius XM at this point, basically. So
yeah. Let's talk some golf. Right up my alley. I know.
Speaking of shit I didn't watch.
You're not much of a golf guy.
Didn't watch a second of this.
None at all. Didn't watch.
No, I was following. I was following along on Twitter. I saw everyone talking about how Mito Pereira shit all over himself, and then by the time I even realized it was a playoff, I was trying to get it logged in on my TV, and by the time that happened, it was over. So didn't watch any of it, but seems like there was high drama on the links.
Yeah, and Golf World, we needed it. Scheffler won in a blowout at the Masters. There's been majors recently where there hasn't been a lot of drama down the stretch on Sunday. So it was good. It was good to have some drama. It was good to have a playoff. Good to have Thomas win. I had money on Thomas, so it was good for him to pull through. It was looking bleak, but man, Mito Pereira. The PGA does have a tendency for guys like Mito Pereira, who without even asking you have no idea who that is, right?
So only through my job and editing PGA content have I heard the name. I probably couldn't pick him out of a lineup. Know nothing about the guy, but I've heard the name.
He's Chilean. He's a fine player.
Is he older? Is he a journeyman? What's his status on the tour?
No, he's not an old guy. I don't know how old he is. But
I mean, has he been around for a minute, or is he?
He's 27.
So, like, how many seasons on tour has he had? If you had to guess,
this might be his first or second year.
Okay,
so he's through Korn Ferry. He's not like super established or anything. He was on the Korn Ferry tour, won promotion through. I think he won several times on the Korn Ferry, which is like call it like the minor leagues of golf.
AAA
you have to earn your card. Yeah. So he's a good player. He's Chilean. They really push that. They were talking to one of his friends who's also Chilean. There's not very many of them. And like I said, I had money on Thomas, and I wanted the collapse. I was begging for it. And 18 sets up very well for it. It's a tough hole. There's water down the right. And as much as I wanted it, it was hard to watch. It was
So give me the rundown, because I just saw collapse. I don't know the details of what happened.
Justin
Set the
Thomas is in the
stage.
clubhouse at 5 under par. Pereira is at 6 under par with the 18th hole to play. Zalatoris is on the green also at 5 under. He has a par putt from like 8 feet, so he needs that to tie Thomas in the clubhouse at 5 under. Pereira has a 1-shot lead on the 18th tee and needs par to win, bogey to join them in a playoff. A questionable decision to pull driver maybe gets him in danger down the right, but it's a long hole. He still needs to make par. It's not like he can just bun it up there and make bogey and win. And he pulls driver, and he makes this swing like he's trying to hit kind of a low runner up the left, and pushed it wide into the water. Hit it in the water off the tee, drops, hits his third shot, kind of over and left of the green into the rough, hits his fourth shot, which he would need to chip in to win outright. He chips it from the rough off the green. So he's putting off just in the fringe, probably from 15-ish feet, 15, 20 feet to join them in a playoff, puts it up. I mean, impossible shot, misses, makes double to not even make the playoff. Makes double on the 18th hole with a 1-shot lead to miss the playoff by 1. Zalatoris makes his 8-foot putt to join. Thomas had a chance. At one point, he was 50 to 1. I mean, they said he had like a 1.9% chance to win and had a chance to win it in regulation. Zalatoris makes an 8-foot putt to join him in a playoff, or he wins it in the clubhouse, waiting for them to finish. So just devastated. Like, this guy, he's 27 years old, a nice player, but just likely
Probably never won a major.
Never, ever in this situation again. It's a situation where you feel sick for him. He's 40 years from now, he's going to wake up and think about that tee shot, that tournament. It's like something that'll stay with you for a lifetime. It was tough to watch.
I cannot imagine. I never played an individual sport like that, but I can't see a world where I wouldn't absolutely crumble under the pressure of a moment like that.
I was trying to think of another sport comp. It's an individual sport. You're just alone. You're on your own out there. Like, guys can miss shots and free throws.
It'd be like a pitcher in baseball.
Yeah,
or
I was gonna say you can't find a strike zone.
Kinda. I mean, no, it's individual sports. It's like tennis or racing or
like if
track or
like if in tennis you can't get your serve in play. You just keep double faulting maybe and just mentally just freak out. That's all I can think of.
Like I don't know, false start in track or something. Yeah, I don't know.
Someone said on Twitter it looked like he got struck by lightning when he hit his tee shot. He his follow through was real low and short. Like he was trying to hit a low shot, a low runner. And he hit it right into the water, and then had an impossible shot around the trees after he dropped it. It's one of those situations where if Rory does it, or if even Thomas does it, after all the times he's not come up big on Sunday until now in a major, if he does, you're like, he's one of the great players in the game right now. He'll probably be back there. He'll probably have another shot. But for this guy to do it, it was so tough to watch. Even though I wanted it to happen, I was sick for him. It is
fitting that we're going to talk about Tin Cup later. It seems fairly some parallels.
Yeah, those of you who are here for the Tin Cup talk, you stay tuned. But yeah, I texted you earlier this week. The PGA was coming up. I was happen to be watching it, and you had never seen it. So we'll talk about Tin Cup a little later. But yeah,
Tin Cup's the U.S. Open, right?
It is, yes.
Okay. Either.
Same shit.
He wouldn't be able to play in the PGA Championship, correct? Based on the rules of how you get into the U.S. Open. PGA Championship, you have to be invited or be in the PGA, I guess.
You have to qualify, yeah. So, yeah. Sick for Mito Pereira. Hopefully he bounces back, but that was really tough to watch.
Probably won't.
Probably won't. Thomas and Zalatoris, good playoff. It wasn't. No one gave it away. Tom, it was a. I like the PGA. They do a 3-hole aggregate, so they played 13, 17, and 18. It wasn't sudden death, so they play a 3-hole aggregate score. They both birdie 13. Thomas birdies 17. Zalatoris pars, and then they both make par on 18 for Thomas to win. It's his second major, both of them the PGA. It's been a big gap. It's been 5 or so years. I think he won in 2017, and really hadn't played well in majors, especially on Sunday when he was in the mix. Him and Rory both have gotten a reputation over the past several years of coming up a little small when they've been in the mix in the majors on the weekend. But yeah, came up huge here. Hit one of the all-time shots on 17, drivable par 4. Hit a 3-wood on the green from the tee. Just big time shot. Probably be the shot of the tournament that's remembered from this major. Yeah, happy for JT. I'm a JT fan. Zalatoris has finished second now in the Masters in obviously this tournament. I think not at the US Open that Rahm won, but maybe another time at Torrey Pines. He's finished second a bunch, so his time's coming. He's a really good player, but what are you gonna do? Got beat in the playoff. A good tournament overall.
I feel like golf has more juice than it has in recent years. I don't know what it is. It seems like it's more in the cultural zeitgeist than it has been in the past. Maybe that's just because I'm more aware of it and it's just my own perception and it's no different at all. Maybe it's just being around you and
maybe
just being more aware of it. Do you get any sense of that golf is more popular, or has more?
My bubble that I've either Twitter or my interest is very golf centric, so that would be a bad one to ask. Mine's always my exposure is always very high to golf, so you would have a better indication of the general public than that. I'm not. That might be the job that you do.
Yeah.
Maybe you work on golf. You're around me a little bit. I talk a lot of golf, so maybe it's that. I'm not sure. It is major season. U.S. Open will be Father's Day. The British Open's coming up. The Masters just happened, so it is golf season. The majors are happening. Maybe it's just that. I don't know, but
I feel like we have a fun cast of characters, which since Tiger's Peak hasn't really been the case. And I guess all these guys have kind of been at their peak for a few years. You know, the Brysons, the Brookses, the that whole crew. I don't know.
yeah, I would
feels
say
like golf's in a very good place right now in
yeah.
terms
There's
of
never
both marketability and quality of play.
there's never been more talent in the game, without question. It's incredibly difficult to win these huge tournaments. There's so many guys that can win. It could have to do with Tiger being back. He brings a lot of juice, a lot of eyeballs. I don't know, a lot of controversy with Phil and this live golf deal that he's doing, and with the Saudis. There's a lot of talk on golf, some controversy. Tiger is always a big part of that, so maybe it's that. And it helps to have a major just happen that was exciting and not a total runaway on Sunday. USA Golf specifically is in an awesome spot. Zalatoris is in this playoff today. Obviously, Thomas is American. Cameron Young played very well in this PGA. There's a lot. I think they have 9 of the top 14 or 15 in the world golf rankings are all American. So Ryder Cup should be in good hands, even when
is that a lot
Tiger.
though? Like most years, is it not that many? In my brain, it seems like it seems like America always dominates in golf. I mean, the Ryder Cup is a little bit of a different thing, I think, because I feel like we lose, even though we are the more talented team more often than not. But is that not normally the case? Is the talent more spread out across the globe typically?
I would say golf is dominated by the U.S. for sure, and the world rankings, yes. I would say just comparative to the European players, a lot of those guys are aging and they're not being replaced at the same rate with young players that the Americans are. Guys like Sergio and like Henrik Stenson and Ian Poulter, Justin Rose, even Rory, honestly, he's still top of the game and he's aging. And guys like Cameron Young, Zalatoris, all these young, I mean, guys that were on the team last year: Scheffler, Xander, Schauffele, Colin Morikawa. They're all very young, and it's not being replaced the same way for Europe as it is for the U.S. So I think they're going to dominate the Ryder Cup. I mean,
They did
they
last year,
should.
right? I mean, no
Oh
reason
yeah,
why
they won
couldn't.
in like record fashion last year, and a lot of those guys from that team are going to be gone from the European team. So we'll see. We'll see how they're, but it's in good hands. Thomas gets his second major. He's won the PGA twice now. The second major is really, really big in golf. A lot of guys at the end of their career, you'll look like that guy has a major. Like really oddball, off the wall players win majors. Getting to 2 and 3 really separates yourself as far as resume goes. In recent years, Morikawa, very young, has won 2. DJ has 2. Bubba won the Masters twice, and then you get into like Spieth and has 3. Brooks has 4. Rory has 4. So it really elevates you to a, as far as resume goes, to a pretty high standard. And Thomas has always been talent-wise up there with those guys, but had come up short in majors. So I'm glad that he got his second to kind of solidify his. I would say he's for sure a Hall of Famer at this point. I mean, it's a pretty big step to go to 2.
They do a Golf Hall of Fame every year. I guess they obviously do. I just never really thought about it. Is it pretty lenient, pretty strict? You know, or there's some guys you're like, what the fuck?
You know, that's a good question. I'm not that familiar with the Hall of Fame and who is in, who is not, or what it takes. I feel like with football, baseball, you're like, is that guy a Hall of Famer? And you just snap no, yes or no pretty easily. There's like
I've never even heard anyone ever talk about the Golf Hall of Fame. You know what I mean? Like all the other big 3 sports, it's like the day that people get inducted is like a thing that they talk about on ESPN or, across media. Whereas in golf, I have no idea who is or isn't. Are there
it's
Tiger
not as
Woods
big
in
of
the
a
Hall
deal.
of Fame, or does he have to retire? How does that work?
He just recently was inducted.
Gotcha.
So I feel like it's not talked about in the same vein as the other big sports. And I also would say that contributions to the game are recognized in a different way in golf. Being an ambassador to the game, things like that are considered. So when you talk about resume, you can consider the Hall of Fame, but I'm more just talking kind of just podcast bullshit. Who's better than who? Just
dude, who's your GOAT? Who's your current Mount
guy?
Rushmore? Who's the current Mount Rushmore PGA? Rom.
Well, you have to. Are we talking about skill, or are we talking about resume?
I don't fucking know.
Because that's
all
different.
of it, dude.
People forget, folks. People forget. Brooks has 4 majors. Hasn't won in a while, but he's got 4 majors.
It's who's the most goated is the discussion.
Yeah, no, that's a
who's
good point.
Who's the most goated guys on tour? Rom goated. Brooks,
yeah, dude,
goated. JT now, is he goated?
Or is he? You might have to crown him as goated.
Is he close to goated?
There's so many goats. You know what my biggest pet peeve is? When people overuse goat.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, those guys, they're all goats.
We should call it the.
Do you know what that means? You know what the acronym is? What should we call
it? One of the best of all time. The
that rolls off the tongue.
Dude, he's a to-the-batted. One of the best of
currently at this time playing now. Kind of rolls, honestly. Yeah. Tell me about Tin Cup. You watched Tin Cup for the first time. I like Tin Cup. I'm a huge golf fan. Obviously, I just talked about golf for I don't know how long we've been recording, but I could rant about golf all day. I enjoy the movie. Love Roy McAvoy, kind of. What are your thoughts on Tin Cup? Give me the breakdown. What are some of the notes?
Okay, some of my notes. Ron Shelton, the guy that directed this, can direct the fuck out of a goddamn sports movie. He did this. He did White Men Can't Jump. He did I think he did Field of Dreams, right? Or no, Bull Durham, White Men Can't Jump in this. So 1990s, you need a guy to make a sports
I got a
movie
guy.
that's endlessly rewatchable that everyone's dad loves. Ron Shelton's your fucking man. He's the
Yeah.
guy you bring out of the pen, hucking 100, right on the fucking black. This is an incredibly rewatchable movie just on one watch. Like I was watching, I was like, I could watch this movie anytime, anywhere, any place. It is the perfect, harmless, like just glaze your eyes over and watch it happen. I We're going to talk about the end. I assume we'll have thoughts on the end. The end is, the pivotal scene in the movie. I would assume the most iconic scene in the movie. I'd never seen a scene of this. I didn't really know the iconic stuff. I'm
Yeah, I
trying to
told you
think.
to watch this movie because I wanted to talk about the end.
So the whole thing is like playing on this like macho, masculine. Do you want to live your life for glory, or do you want to live your life being, I don't know, safe? Or
You want to go for it, or you want to play it safe?
and the end kind of fucks with what I thought the message of the movie was. Talk about that when we get to the end of the movie. I'm trying to look at my notes here. It seemed like the love interest character was just like a little quick. One lesson, and she was just goo eyes over this fucking drunk desert rat that was teaching her how to play golf.
I think
Granted,
it took.
Kevin Costner's he's hot as fuck. He's
He's
just
incredibly
oozing
charming
bravado.
and good looking, and just.
But man, it was like
It took longer than that. I mean,
Well, she's not outwardly admitting it, but the way she's acting, she's just she's
sure.
good vibes. Here's one thing that I thought: the villain, is he even that bad of a guy? The villain, seemed like pretty standard. Like, oh, you don't want to sign pictures for old people. Like, I don't know. Neither do I. Like, he seems like a
Um,
pretty just normal human.
I think
That's
he's an
not.
awesome character. Don Johnson, right, plays him. I
Mhm.
think he's awesome. I think he's such a good character.
I think so too, but
Um,
I mean, I didn't hate him that much, really. I didn't think anything that he did was that reprehensible.
no, he's just kind of like in general, kind of an arrogant prick type of, But no, I mean, yeah, he says he hates old women and babies and dogs, and that's like the joke that he's just not a good
Mhm.
guy. He's just not who you think he is. He's a fake, arrogant, you know, rich
Yeah, but
guy
at some
asshole.
point it's like it's every professional athlete. Like that's part of the
Yeah,
job.
maybe.
You just
Yeah,
have to be that way. You don't really have a choice. I guess you could just be a nice guy, but I mean, you
be
have
a
to be a
nice
little
guy.
bit fake at some point. Young Phil Mickelson, that was one of my notes.
How about that?
Young Phil. Speaking of him and his controversy,
Gambling on the golf course. What a shocker.
yeah, always been a
Start him early.
degenerate.
Oh yeah.
Um, one of my big loopholes in this is why is she getting golf lessons from him when her boyfriend is a professional golfer?
That's a good question. He's busy. He's on the tour. He's traveling
W-
around.
Why is he dating a psychiatrist from fucking Amarillo or wherever the fuck they are?
I don't know where he's from. They went to
I think
college together at Houston.
it said he lives in Dallas, I think, and she's in not close to Dallas,
You know what? I
as
don't
far as
know
I
how
can
they
tell.
met, so that's
Not important at all. Who
overlooked.
gives a fuck? I like the scene where he beats the guy using like garden tools for
Yeah,
clubs.
that was cool.
That scene's fun to me.
Yep.
Uh, I don't know shit about golf, and I've often told you that I am bad at identifying bad golf swings. It seems like the golf in this all looks very good. It seems like the actual playing of the golf looks
Oh
pretty
yeah.
realistic, pretty
Yeah, Kevin
strong.
Costner can play. Yeah.
Mhm. Mhm.
And then everybody
Um,
else are just
and
I
what's
don't know
his name?
about.
The bad guy, also pretty
Yeah.
good.
He had a good swing too. And then everybody else is just golfers.
Yeah,
Like
everyone
they
else
just
is
had
just an actual professional golfer. I really like the scene where he goes to get therapy. What quote I wrote down: 30 minutes. That's enough time. I'm not that fucked up.
great quote. Great
Good
quote.
quote. Hmm.
I'm not that fucked up. and that woman's in the exit room
Yeah,
crying.
really good.
That broad's still
Really
up there crying.
I didn't do anything to her.
I didn't do it. I didn't talk to her. Yeah, really good stuff.
One thing that struck me was they don't make movies like this anymore. Like they don't make just sort of fun, unserious, just throw it on. Movie like this doesn't happen anymore. It just doesn't.
No, because there's
or
no
maybe
no
are we
one,
all too, or are we too like cynical? Like if a movie like this got made today, we'd be like, oh, it's fucking hokey and stupid and whatever. I think we need to go back to getting a little bit more of this. Like
people don't make them; they don't make any money.
We can parlay this. I went to go see Doctor Strange and have some thoughts on that. That's a good parlay.
I haven't seen it yet. I have a feeling it stinks, but I don't know yet. I haven't heard one thing about it. We'll talk about it later.
We'll talk about it.
I think Kevin Costner is so charismatic, such a good character. I think he's genuinely funny in this movie. I think him, and the love interest. What's her name? I can't. Molly. Mm-hmm. I think they're great. I think they're both funny. I think they're both really good together, and it works.
Yeah, I think the chemistry there is good. Kevin Costner's again, one of the most charismatic actors you'll ever see. Guy drips swag off the screen.
Yeah,
I could watch that guy in any movie in any role ever.
I think he plays the role well too. I think he fits like the kind of hot shot, go for it, like cocky.
Like his role in Yellowstone now, he kind of plays like a degenerate cowboy in some form in all his movies. Like he's kind of a, Lone Ranger, sort of lone wolf,
gambler,
fucking
shoot from the hip,
whatever, fuck it type of guy.
Yeah, it works. Anything else before we get to the climactic?
So we'll get to the ending. The whole thing I thought was he's going to learn to not be this masculine macho dickhead. He's going to learn to not just jam the square peg into the circular hole his whole life, and maybe loosen up the grip and play it safe isn't the end of the world. You don't have to be a hero.
Not only is it not the end of the world, you can win that way. You can get it done doing it that way.
And basically what the movie says is never change. Be yourself to a fault, to the point that it will ruin your goddamn life. And then when you have the chance to redeem yourself and change the way you act, double down, be worse, and completely fuck yourself. And then justify it by saying it looked cool and people are going to remember that. Whereas instead, you could have completely changed your life and been all the better for it. So yeah, I was like, this is fucking insane that this is the moral of this story. I was shocked.
I think Tin Cup is not a perfect movie, not a great movie. It's a really enjoyable, fun watch, and has like a decent storyline and the potential for a really nice lesson, or a really nice to tie a bow on at the end, and then it just crashes and burns to the ground. I don't understand. It's set up so perfectly to have like a nice story.
It's so crazy.
And then
it's the craziest shit is that the therapist lady is the one telling him to
go for it, Roy. I know.
It's nuts. And the people are cheering. People are cheering whenever he makes that shot at the end. And the other thing, the people in the crowd are not going to know how many balls he has left, right?
No, they're not going to know that his last. I don't. That's a good question. I don't know if there's a certain amount of balls you can carry. I don't know. I don't think so.
The thing about it is, in what scenario would that ever come up? You know what I mean? In an actual
PGA event. Ran out of balls?
Yeah, you're not going to hit 20 balls in the fucking water if you're an actual pro golfer.
Probably fucking not. Just the golf hardo in me is just no one would ever do this. No one, you just go up there and drop in the drop zone like you had the days before and just try to make par and go to the playoff. No one would do that.
No, it's so stupid. It gains you absolutely nothing.
It honestly ruins the movie. If we're being honest, it's
Honestly, it did for me a little bit, but it made it almost more like that's fucking insane that's how
it's
that
an
movie ends.
awful ending.
It's crazy. And the justification is like, they're not going to remember the US Open winner. They're only going to remember you because if some guy off the street won the US Open, they were going to remember it if he'd fucking
100 years from now, they're going to remember the driving range pro that won the U.S. Open. Yeah.
Nah, they're going to remember that he melted down and had a mental fucking breakdown and hit 100 shots in a row in the fucking water.
Let's rewrite it. How should it have ended?
Like they even set it up. It's like, oh, here it goes. He's going to melt down again. And then he just does. And it's like, no, that's the good thing. It's good that you as a 45-year-old man.
Yeah, they set it up so well.
Have
The entire
not grown,
movie, obviously.
Your entire growth, your entire arc of what we've set up is just like, nope, you're right back to where you started. You are no different at all from what you were before.
The entire movie sets it up. He goes for it. Sometimes he makes it, sometimes he doesn't, but he's always going for it. And then the 2 days before on the 18th hole, he goes for it, hits it in the water. And then he stands there on the last day and he does it again. And again and again and again. It's just so infuriating. Just like as a golf guy, it's so annoying to watch him continue to throw those balls down on that same spot and rip them in the water. How would you rewrite it? How would you end it? Would you just have him? I think there's a point to be made of him learning his lesson, laying up, winning it that way, but also of him just pulling it off. Just like, I'm still going for it. I'm still the gunslinger, but this time I pulled it off. I think that's also interesting and maybe better.
To
it
me,
doesn't exactly
I think
teach a lesson, but
I think learning from the mistake would be the most satisfying way for it to end for me. Like, you want him to grow. Like, if he pulls it off, it's essentially the same thing that he already did. It just gets a better result. Like, he's still a fucking asshole that can't learn from his mistakes and is addicted to glory and adulation and pulling something off. Like, to me, the result is different, but in like from a story standpoint, it's the same thing. So for me, I would rather him lay up.
I think there's some charm to the guy.
I mean, it's the same charm as like him dropping it a million times, other than like just logically, it doesn't make sense that he would do that. But like the mentality is the same, really.
Yeah, it's pretty anticlimactic if he lays up and like chips it up and makes birdie and wins. I guess the end of the movie isn't quite the same, like crescendo of making.
Yeah, I don't. I mean, yeah, it's definitely memorable doing it the way they did it. It's certainly an ending to a movie. What the fuck? Crazy.
And they also kind of fuck with it because it's not even so. David Sims, his rival, kind of just like fades to. It's not even like him. So he lays up and makes par and finishes second, like he always does. Like he always lays up, never goes for it. And there's a guy in the clubhouse that's
what is
already.
The point of that?
Yeah, that was kind of silly. That was kind of confusing. Like, I understand it.
They overly wanted it to seem like an actual PGA event. Obviously the presentation was like straight out of a actual TV broadcast. They had Jim Nantz and the whole bit. But yeah, that was a weird story move that I feel like for casual people, they're not going to understand what's happening.
Yeah, for a player who's not in the movie whatsoever, just to kind of show up and have a lead in the clubhouse that Roy's chasing is a weird decision. To where it's not even like him against Sims in the end, his rival. It's him against that guy in the clubhouse who we don't even know, and it's confusing. Yeah, I thought that was a weird choice. Yeah, weird ending. I'm just glad I got your thoughts on it. Enjoyable movie, but it's just infuriating at the end.
Roy's outfits in this movie, big inspiration. That guy was getting some fucking fits off.
Yeah,
big pants, fucking all the goddamn Tommy Bahama shirts with the white beater underneath.
The The open button-down T-shirts with the wife beater underneath was
Yeah.
a vibe for Roy
Gig-
McAvoy.
Gigantic pants. Oh man. Fuck yeah, he was looking
90s golf
incredible. Yeah.
drip
Yeah.
to your neck.
Uh
No question.
golf thing we need to get rid of some guys still wear this, like the big stupid visor that the bad guy wears. I don't know what you
The
call
high
that
crown
type of
visor? Bring that back. Are you kidding me?
Fucking terrible. Some guys still wear that, don't they?
I
Is that
have a
not
high crown visor. I never wear it, but
it looks
it's just
fucking
funny.
yeah, it is a stupid garment.
Yeah, I don't
Why?
understand. It's like a women's hat. I don't understand.
What's the gain from wearing that kind of visor as opposed to the standard visor?
The high crown, baby. Fit more sponsors up there. I don't know.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah. What was his sponsor? Infinity? That was what was on the visor, I think.
Yeah, I
Fucking
think so.
Infinity. Yeah, dude. Rich guy shit. How about when he I thought it I guess it was funny. It's kind of fucking stupid. Whenever they do the driving contest and he just hits it down the road.
So many good little bits like that. Yeah, when he just outsmarts him. Yeah, it's so many good. The scene in the celebrity golf deal where he calls Sims a pussy and takes a bet with the guy and hits it on the green from awesome scene. And then he fires him for me and his caddy. Awesome scene. That's where you're talking about Phil and them betting on the when he hits it off the porta potty onto the green.
Yeah.
All time.
Good
Stuff. Yeah.
Did Happy Gilmore come out before or after this? Let's see. This came out in 96.
Has to be after, right?
I don't know.
Actually, maybe not.
Nope, both 96. I don't know.
Okay.
So, I mean, they couldn't have been inspired. That's kind of weird because, I mean, obviously they couldn't have seen
the off the shitter
movie,
bit.
Yeah, they were both on the same wavelength. That's odd. That's very strange. Yeah, Tin Cup, I gave it like a 73.
Okay, that's not bad. I gave it a 77 or 8. Just because
incredibly rewatchable.
Give it a bump just for I love golf and it's fun and rewatchable. Yeah, it's great.
Thing it's got going for it. Kevin Costner being Kevin Costner, always good. If you're a sports fan and you like sports movies where the sports look really good and look really true to life, it's got that going for it.
Yeah, you mentioned
fun, just incredibly rewatchable.
Especially the U.S. Open portions of it, especially the Sunday. It did feel like at a golf event. They did a good job of making it feel real. The golf all looked really good. Yeah, they had Nance on the call. They had Gary McCord, the guy on the course who bets him with the porta potty shot. That's really good. It's all really well done as far as good sports scenes. So incredibly rewatchable. Love Tin Cup. The ending infuriating.
Yep.
We'll do more movie talk right now, and then we'll go to some basketball stuff, some other stuff. Tell me about you went to see Doctor Strange. What's the deal? I haven't seen it yet.
I went to go see Doctor Strange, and
before you do this, I'm sorry. Spoiler alert for me and for anyone listening, or how we want to do that?
I'll try and not do any spoilers.
I've come to the point where I don't really care that much.
I absolutely don't give a fuck. And that's kind of my point with this whole spiel is that...
Okay, so go ahead. So, spoiler alert, if you want to skip ahead, go ahead. But he'll try to keep it vague. I don't even care.
I don't think I'll spoil anything.
For myself.
So, on one hand, this is my favorite Marvel movie I've seen in a very long time. I probably like this more than the Spider-Man movie, I think. Probably.
Wow.
So Sam Raimi directed this. It's the first movie he's directed in like a decade. He did the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man and Evil Dead and some other stuff that you may or may have not seen. And you can kind of feel that it's a little different from the Marvel pipeline, I guess, but not really. I would compare it to like, my point is that I'm fucking sick of these goddamn movies. There's too goddamn many. It's too much. Like, I feel like I'm just eating at a goddamn buffet and I want to stop and someone just keeps shoveling it into my fucking mouth. It's just like, it's enough. I don't want any fucking more of the fucking look at the camera quips and the fucking inner dimensions and fuck. Oh my God, it makes me fucking sick. But like the movie itself was fine and fun, and it's a Marvel movie, so it's at a point where all these movies are like, there's just going to be a baseline of quality that's not that bad, and it's a fun time, and there's a lot of like moments and stuff that are unique and fun. But I get exhausted watching these movies now because it feels like, and it's always been this way, there's just homework to the whole thing. It's everything that happens. I'm like, should I know what that is? What's going on with that? And they do a good job of making it pretty watchable. But if you're a Marvel fan, as far as I could tell, they definitely hinted at and revealed a bunch of big shit in the universe. If you're into that sort of thing, lots of character reveals, lots of Marvel property reveals in this. Yeah, I mean, it's just like, I think it makes me sad seeing, like, it doesn't make me sad. Like, I don't give a fuck really, but Sam Raimi having to make a Marvel movie. And I mean, it's weird that this is the movie he came back to make because it's just so cookie cutter, I guess. I don't know. It's whatever. It's fine. I would give it like a 78. It's one of the better Marvel movies that I've seen, but I'm just sick of Marvel movies. It's like when you're a little kid and you eat fast food and you're like, fast food's awesome. I could eat fast food every fucking day. I love it. And then eventually you eat fast food 100 times. You're like, this makes me feel bad. This is kind of gross. I don't like this very much anymore.
Yeah, we've come to a spot where the saturation level is just at all-time highs. I mean, those huge events, those Marvel movies became events like Infinity War, Endgame, like the big stuff, like the Spider-Man, the really big stuff were huge events, and it feels like there's one just every like 5 or 6 months now. There's just like
None of
these
it
big,
matters. Like,
I
but
can't.
the thing about it is, like, they're still within the story, like requiring you to watch all of the shit. Like, if you haven't seen WandaVision, you're going to be fucking confused to this movie. You're not going to
I
really
was
understand what's going on.
right
I guess,
now.
but obviously they do a good enough job that you can put together the pieces and figure it out. But if you haven't watched it, there's just giant chunks of this story that are not going to make a lot of sense.
Big picture, I mean, it's fine because they're making millions of dollars or whatever. Big picture, we were talking about this when the most recent Spider-Man came out. Just like, you're not going to be able to watch these movies without a required watch time of this huge catalog of shit. It's just, as standalone properties, they're becoming
It
very,
blows my
very,
mind that
very weird.
it blows my mind that these are the biggest movies in the world, with how much like work goes into
Well,
having
it
to
makes
have watched it all. Like the fact that they somehow got everyone in the world to watch all of these fucking movies and keep up with
25
it.
movies up to like
More than that, probably, right? I don't know for a fact, but
yeah. There's
and
like
then
probably like
what's there, 5 TV shows now or something like that? Like,
that's the thing. It makes so like for me,
and
it
it's
makes
all so, it's like they're all the same fucking thing. Like,
yeah.
it's just, we revealed a new character. Like, that's it. That's the big sticking point. Like, the character notes, like Doctor Strange, he didn't change. It's Doctor Strange doing what he's done in 8 fucking movies or however many for the entire time. He's being a fucking quippy dickhead the whole time, and he's a fucking arrogant prick. Like,
That's his deal. That's his
good
bit.
job, but I've seen it. I've seen fucking 40 hours of it at this point. Yeah, I mean, it's really like they do a lot of unique stuff. I say all that it's the same movie, but more like emotionally, all the movies are the same, I guess, and like
Yeah.
the character of all of
I'm
it is
sure
the same. But Sam
with
Raimi
this
does a lot of
multiverse
really
stuff,
cool
I feel like
moments.
visually, is it really 'Cause, like, the
Yeah,
multiverse, all the stuff, I'm sure it's really great.
I would not to say that that's saying much. It's definitely the scariest, the closest to a horror movie of any of the movies.
Yeah, I've have heard that. And in what way? Like, it's, like, jumpy? It's, like,
So
not surely
I
it's not, like,
guess I
gore
guess
type, like, blood and guts type
spoiler
stuff.
maybe, but Wanda is the bad guy pretty much in this. She's the villain, and she's like pretty creepy and like deranged, and is basically stalking Doctor Strange and another character through all these multiverses to get this other character and do something I won't say. Um, and eventually they go into one universe and she kills a bunch of superheroes in that universe, which is kind of shocking. But yeah, it's like based on the stuff they reveal in this, it just feels like obviously we know all these movies are coming, but it's like it feels like there has to be an end, but there's just not. Is this they're just gonna make these movies
What's
forever?
weird to
Like
me, and I guess that
what will ever stop these from coming out?
they're not going to. They're gonna make billions of dollars, and they continue
Does
to
it
put them
not
out. The story
feel but does it not feel like eventually people got to stop giving a fuck? If you're gonna give it at this volume, at this regularity in time, like people have to just stop caring eventually, right?
you would think that there would be a tapered off of interest. You would think. I don't know. It's the most popular thing in the world. I mean,
But there's just never been anything like it. Like with James Bond, it's like 5 years you get a movie or whatever. Like
yeah,
things you would compare it to would be like James Bond, like Mission
Star
Impossible, I guess.
Wars.
Star Wars, even Star Wars is like, it's
There's
now.
9
I
total or,
mean,
like,
now
10
Disney has
movies?
that, so it's like there's been
The
like
same
5
shit.
shows, and
Yeah.
it's all fucking. I don't want to be an asshole, but if you're a grown adult and you're just like really into these movies, like grow the fuck up.
I like them. I mean, don't get me wrong, I like them. I think they're enjoyable. But
Liking
I've
them and enjoying them is one, but like saying like these are the best movies and like these are my favorite movies and
oh,
I
yeah,
fucking
relax.
love these, it's like
They're good.
I
They're
mean
fine.
yeah, they're certainly worse things to watch, but I don't know if your whole personality and your whole deal is like fuck dude, these movies are fucking incredible, like
Marvel
dude, the new Doctor
rips.
Strange was so fucking good. It's like I cannot emphasize to you how much I've seen that same movie 100 fucking times.
With just another character.
It's just different names and different set pieces in the action, but the fucking oh fuck.
I don't think they care because they're making all their money now. But like I was talking with the Spider-Man, like this last Spider-Man movie was one of the biggest events specifically for Marvel, but just like in cinema, like Spider-Man is a huge deal. Probably the most popular character in Marvel. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, probably.
So it's anytime a movie comes out, it's huge. And this was like a big culmination of all the Spider-Man movies up until this point. But like, will mine and your son or daughter say be able to just watch that movie? Or are they gonna have to watch
Exactly. Like
well, are
none
they
of
gonna have to
these
watch
I feel
all
like
of those Spider-Man movies prior to it, both the three Raimi, the trilogy, the two with Garfield, and then the two before this past one, plus all the Marvel franchise leading up to that movie. Like you can't just pick these up and watch them as a standalone thing. Like there's this huge catalog that you have to watch leading up to it. It just like doesn't make sense outside of what is happening. Like it's fine for me because I've consumed them all throughout my life up until this point. So like I get the gist, but like going back and watch all these, it's I mean doable, but it's incredibly daunting for like someone to just pick up and watch.
like the actual movies don't matter, basically, is what it feels like. The actual movies themselves are unimportant. It's just fucking cogs in the machine to keep the
Furthering
fucking
the
machine rolling down
big
the goddamn street. Like it doesn't matter. None of the individual movies mean fucking anything. You can watch the spark notes. That's the other thing. You don't have to watch any of them. You could read a fucking synopsis and like there's not any real emotional stakes or big time character moments that really do anything for me other than like the big Avengers movies. It's just I don't know. There's too much. It's too much. It's overwhelming. The
I
other thing
wish.
is, I want to go see other movies, and it fucks up the show times for all these other movies because Doctor Strange plays 45 fucking times throughout the day in this one theater. In any other movie you want to go see, there's like 2 show times throughout the fucking day to go see it. But people got to see Doctor Strange 24 hours a fucking day around the
Yeah,
goddamn clock.
how many people were in your theater when you watched it? Was it
I
pretty
mean,
full?
it was pretty full. It was a decent amount. I mean, it went on Saturday, so I mean, it was pretty
Right.
prime movie going times. But even the audience, like usually previously, like last cycle, like after this last cycle, there's just no way these Marvel movies are going to keep this up to this extent. Like people are going to sour on this shit. They just have to. I think.
I'm
Maybe
really
not.
interested to see the box office returns for this movie because we're past the big Avengers cycle. We're past the massive property of Spider-Man, the big event that was. Doctor Strange is a B minus C tier character in the entire, like in the grand scheme of things. I'm interested to see how this performs relative to those other ones. You're right. People are going to sour. Like I went and saw Spider-Man on like the first or second day it was out. I'm a fan of these. I watched them. I've consumed almost all of them outside of a few of the TV series. I haven't seen this movie yet. It's been like 2 weeks and I really don't care.
I would recommend watching it.
I'm
say all
going to
this
see
to
it.
say
I'm going to see it.
this movie individually, I liked. It was good. I had a fun time at the theater. Marvel in general, I'm fucking sick of. Just let these movies be their own thing. Like there's the other thing that pisses me off.
A little bit
There's
more.
there's no satisfying conclusion to any of the fucking movies, and it drives me fucking insane.
I know. It just like furthers the big picture.
A fucking cliff note.
It's just a setup.
The other thing that the fucking post-credit scenes, like the
Get over
hubris to be
yourself.
like, you got to stay and watch the fucking post-credit scene. You better sit your little booty down. You're gonna sit right fucking there, and then it's gonna be like, oh fucking,
You get
fucking Glybor from the fucking some comic book you've never heard of is fucking here and whatever.
Yeah. Another movie.
It's like if you've read 100 comic books, you'll understand what this is, and if not, you'll look it up after.
Here's an 8-second scene of something you're gonna have to Google when you leave.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming.
Staying. Fuck off.
All right. We can move on. We can move
Fuck off. Yeah. No, that's Doctor Strange. Pretty good.
Pretty good. Go see it. Check it out.
Yeah. Pretty good.
We can move on. We've been going for like 45 minutes or so. Do you want to talk any NBA playoffs? I think one series is much more interesting than the other.
One more thing. Really... Elizabeth Olsen, she plays Scarlet Witch. This whole press junket, you can just absolutely tell she's never seen a single one of these Marvel movies, and it's awesome. Like they asked her a question about one of the big character reveals and the actor who plays this character, and she's like, she had no idea he was in the movie. Had no clue. Because she doesn't have any scenes with him. She was as shocked as anyone watching.
I've seen that.
Fucking queen.
To me,
cash those checks. Never watched a single one of them. Love it.
Yeah, you got to think she feels like a total fucking asshole doing, especially her characters like all like, ooh, look at my magic.
I was thinking that I could not. This movie especially, like the amount of CGI of them, like the raw footage of them on a green screen saying some of the shit they say is so fucking stupid. One thing about this movie is like all the stuff when they talk about the multiverse, my eyes just glaze over. It's just like, shut the fuck up. Oh my God. This is so fucking dumb.
I saw that clip too. She was doing press or whatever, and the lie detector deal where she said, I've never met this guy. I have to assume that he was like added in after, or they just filmed separately or something.
Yeah, I mean, she wasn't in any of his scenes, and if she was,
she's like
definitely CGI'd in.
I don't give a fuck, dude.
Yeah.
That $15 million check cleared though.
And that just goes to show you, like, none of these people in these movies even care about these fucking movies. Like, the people making the movies, like, they don't give a fuck. This shit is stupid. It is dumb. It's fucking dumb. It's fucking. Ugh.
Hey, it'll be okay. It'll be fine.
Yeah.
You have any basketball takes? I don't care about Warriors Mavericks. They're at halftime, I think, right now. Let's see game 3. Are the Mavs going to make it exciting?
55-51, third quarter. So maybe this will be a close game. It's a close game right now.
All right. I think the Warriors are going to win that series. Have any Heat Celtics thoughts? It's much more entertaining. Although
But not really,
games.
though. None of the games have been very entertaining, actually.
Yeah.
All the games have been wildly unentertaining.
In theory,
like
a more
the
even
refereeing
series.
is still kind of an issue. Like the physicality / the flopping at the hands of the physicality. Guys seemingly like Jimmy Butler seems like he faked an injury, but obviously, apparently he didn't. I don't know. It's all very
Some really
strange.
unlikable
Jason
players in
Tatum.
that series, honestly.
This is what I think about this whole playoffs and why it kind of sucks. I'm not rooting for any of these players. I don't care. And I don't think maybe you just have like we have no Giannis, we have no LeBron, we have no KD. There's none of these guys have that juice. Steph, as much as I love Steph, doesn't have that juice right now. He's not old Steph right now. He's just not that type of guy like he was, 20 question. Even last year or 2 years before.
Because we're in the same boat as being LeBron guys, I suppose. Do you like Steph? Do you pull for Steph?
No, not really. I respect and enjoy watching him play. I don't pull against him. I have no feeling towards him, really. I think he's a fucking kind of corny. He's not my favorite. Stylistically, visually, like aesthetically, he plays a very beautiful brand of basketball, but personality-wise, not really my cup of tea.
Yeah, I think corny is a good way to put it. I'm not a fan. I think
he's got a lot of he's got Russell Wilson energy.
Yeah.
He's got some Russell Wilson wife guy fucking, little cuck energy.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't like him either. Obviously, awesome player. Enjoy watching him play for the most part. But yeah, I don't love the shimmy, and I don't love the. I don't know. There's something about him that's a little off for me. I don't think I like him either. Yeah, there's not many likable players, especially in that series. Kyle Lowry's a shithead. Butler is an asshole. Grant Williams is an asshole. Mark
Tatum
Smart's an
is
asshole.
Boring as fuck.
Tatum,
personality wise, he's an incredible player, but just boring.
You're right. There's no star power for the most part outside of Steph Curry, who we both are.
And on top of that, aesthetically, this Heat fucking Celtics series is a fucking
really
abomination.
Mucky.
God really damn, mucky. It is not pretty to watch.
Who can flop over and tackle each other better? It's really tough. It's so bad.
Like the cliche of it being like football, but it is. It's not any fun to watch.
And on the other side,
they take advantage of it and try to like bend the referees to their will, which is sort of the problem with the NBA in general, I think, and needs to be fixed. I thought we had it fixed at the beginning of the season, and then they just said, nah, we're not going to fix it. So,
yeah. On the other side, it's probably polarizing with Steph. I think we're probably in the minority. I think most people probably like Steph. I think most people dislike Draymond, so he's another unlikable factor. On the other side of that, I think Luka can be pretty ugly to watch at times, even though how good he is, he's like that other series, manipulating the refs a lot of the time. A lot of fouls, a lot of threes.
He possesses the ball for long amounts of time.
Really hammers it into the ground.
Ball doesn't move a lot.
No.
Although I think that's kind of the difference with why the Mavs have made it a little farther. It feels like there is a little bit more movement, a little bit more, the ball popping around, but that could just be me saying that because they've made it this far. I don't know, really.
Yeah. Underwhelming conference finals. Jason Tatum. Big yikes. Game 3. What the hell was that?
Seemed like he was hurt or drunk or throwing the game.
I thought he was actually. I text you. I asked if he was shaving points. I was mostly kidding, but it was. I've never seen him just like dribble it into the other team's hands so many times.
It was bizarre. It was bizarre.
Like would go into dribble moves, and Oladipo would just rip him. It was.
Victor Oladipo was a goddamn menace in this fucking game. It seemed like he had 12.
He's a good player. He was very injured. He fucked up his
whole
quad, tore his quad. Yeah, he was hurt for like 2 years, and he's a good player.
Yeah. Tatum, it's him. Brown. Am I the only one that Brown's 40 felt kind of underwhelming? Didn't really feel like he was.
Well, they lost. Tatum was so bad.
But even I understand that. But even in just watching the
Yeah.
game, Brown did not feel
It
dominant
was
in
like,
that
oh, he
game.
had 40.
Yeah, exactly. It did not feel like he's
Yeah.
putting the team on his back. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why that was the way that was, but Bam was incredible. I just wish we could get all the star players on both teams playing well in the same game. We haven't gotten that yet.
No.
Either
No.
Butler or Bam or Jaylen Brown or Tatum have fucking stunk in one of these 3 games. And it's made the product not very good.
I think Celtics Warriors would be the most fun finals. I'm trying to think of what would be. The
Yeah,
Heat was just going to muck up and be ugly against anyone. I don't.
Celtics kind of that way too. Either of these Eastern Conference teams, I don't
That's
think it's
true.
going to be pretty. I think Jason Tatum alone could make it a little bit
Yeah,
more
there's
pretty.
just more ceiling talent with the Celtics. I think that would be
Yeah,
maybe.
I think Celtics Warriors is what we want. It's got the most star power. You want the
Although
big markets. That's the
although I
2
don't
biggest
want
markets.
Boston to win.
I
just
don't give a
dislike
fuck
them.
who wins. But I mean, you don't want the Warriors to win either, really. You know, like I don't give a fuck about Boston, really. I don't know. Like, especially this Celtics team, they're just not the
I just
same.
don't like their fans that much, which is whatever.
Yeah.
Oh no,
But
as far as the players, I think they're all fine. I don't. Some of them are assholes, but that's just is what it is. But just like their fan, I'm not a huge Boston fan guy.
no.
Understandably. All right. I wrote down in our notes here for the show. Literally any thoughts at all on baseball? We've reached the quarter pole of the season. What do you got for me? What do you got for me? Give me your hottest baseball take.
They juice the balls, they unjuice the balls. Maybe the balls weren't a thing ever. I don't fucking
You know, it's
know,
a total
dude.
disaster for baseball. The Yankees are awesome. The Mets are awesome. The Dodgers are awesome. The Angels are better. Maybe the 2 best players in the league play for the Angels. They're better. And no one gives a shit. It's a
No.
total disaster. Their biggest markets, their best teams are good, and it's as bad as it's ever been. That's bad. That's a bad sign.
How close is it to hockey overtaking baseball?
I'm watching hockey right now. I don't give a fuck about baseball. I mean, it's playoff hockey.
Playoffs is a
but
little different. Like,
It's different.
you're
I'm
never
gonna
going to watch
a
regular season hockey. You'd have to
No shit.
fucking chew me in the face. So
Yeah,
maybe baseball's got to beat there, just from my perspective. But
Yeah. The season's too long. No one gives a fuck. It's
no, these games don't matter.
No.
We're broken record. We talk about every time we talk about baseball. We probably talk about this too fucking much because we don't have anything fun to say. Because there's
No.
nothing to talk about. It's so goddamn boring.
Real quick, say something nice about baseball.
You have a bunch of really young, exciting players playing baseball.
Who's your favorite
right now.
young, exciting player to watch?
I love watching Tatis.
He's been hurt though.
Jazz Chisholm's really fun to watch.
Ooh, there's a good one. There's a deep cut. He's really
There's
good.
a deep cut. Marlins second baseman, really exciting player.
Yeah, coolest guy in the league, maybe.
Up there, certainly up there.
I really like watching Luis Robert from the White Sox. He's really good.
Yeah, he's prolific. Shohei Ohtani, if you haven't caught him, pretty good.
Never heard of him.
Yeah, pretty good.
All right, baseball sucks. Moving on. Ooh, I wrote down this. We'll do a couple things to finish up here. What moments in sports, no matter who it is or when it happens, give you goosebumps every single time? You can have a specific moment in your mind where you're like, every time you watch it, you're like, wow, that's sick. I have goosebumps. Or it can be team agnostic. It just when this happens. My example of this, to let you know why I wrote this down and why I want to talk about it. I'm not a guy that knows anything about horse racing or pretends to. I enjoy it casually. But if there's a big race, when those horses come around that final turn and there's a big call to the end of the race for like the Derby, the Preakness just happened on Saturday, it is unlike anything in sports. I get goosebumps every single time down the stretch in a big race every time.
Yeah, that's pretty good. It's pretty good. Trying to think. For whatever reason, I get goosebumps in the college basketball national championship, whenever they announce the starting lineups, I get goosebumps. I don't know
Ooh,
why. That's a big
interesting.
one for
Okay.
me. Because to me, it's like college, especially, it is like this one moment. We have this one game for the rest of our fucking lives. Whereas the
That's a good
pros, it's
one.
like it's game 4, it's game 6. We'll maybe go to the finals next year. Like that, it's like this fucking or Wichita State. This is
Hard to
fucking
get
it.
back.
This is I actively know this is the greatest moment of my life, no matter what happens after this. This
Yeah.
is it. This is the fucking peak. Like
That's a good one. I like that one.
football's different. They don't really do that, and they don't announce the starting lineups or anything in football. You kind of just run out there, so it's a little different. Mostly pageantry stuff more than the actual sports happening, I think.
The final call for the miracle on ice is
okay. If we're talking,
do you believe in miracles, like all time stuff like that? Do you have anything like that?
David Freese, Game
I was
6,
gonna say that
World
one
Series
too.
walk-off home run.
We'll see you tomorrow night.
That's the biggest one in my fandom, probably.
Yeah.
Pat Maroon for the Blues, another one scoring that goal to win against the Stars in whatever year they won the Cup, 2019.
19.
Then like whatever that was, double overtime at home. That was pretty cool.
Some other. I'm trying to think some other. Ooh, here's a good one. Most of these, because they're personal to us, are like Cardinals or like moments from our when Wainwright freezes Beltran to beat the Mets.
Yeah,
with that curveball to go to the World Series. That was a big one.
Pretty good. Ray Allen against the Heat, hitting that 3 in the corner.
Good one.
That's a good one for me. I enjoy that. Yeah, right. With that, at the risk of just saying, obvious
like
great
favorite,
sports moments. One when I was a little kid, 2004 NLCS, Cardinals Astros to force a Game 7. Jim Edmonds walk-off home.
Ooh, arms in the air.
Also,
immediately off the bat.
We'll see you tomorrow night. I think Joe Buck. I'm pretty sure said
was that the original call.
So Jack Buck did that back in the 80s.
He did it. Joe Buck did it twice. Did he say it then too?
I'm pretty sure he said something similar to it. Let's see.
Those of you listening, either tweet us or comment your favorite moment in sports. No matter when you watch it, how many times you watch it, still gives you goosebumps. Leave a comment.
Can you hear this? What's
tweet
playing on my headphones?
Show. No,
I assume not. Right? Yeah, my microphone's a different thing here. Let's see. Oh, it's not even Joe Buck.
I don't think he says it. I think he just does his dad's call for that one for freeze. I don't think it's.
This isn't even Joe Buck calling this game. So
okay. Another Astros moment that makes me think of or
oh my god, it's who that is, right? And Tom Brenneman, the Castellanos guy, is the guy on the call for this game. Never realized that. That gives me goosebumps just hearing that guy's voice.
Yeah, right. Another moment against the Astros that made me think of it. Obviously, Albert's home run against Lidge up onto the train tracks against the Astros at Minute Maid. That was fun.
Yeah,
they didn't win
cool.
that.
I was thinking this. Anytime, this happens mostly in baseball, when a player who is synonymous with the team comes back to play as an opposing player and gets like an ovation.
Those
when
are cool.
Albert Pujols came back to the Cardinals, and then we were at the game when he hit a home run for the Angels. It was fucking crazy. Assume that would be his last home run at that stadium, but now he plays for us.
He hit 2 today, by the way. He's going to hit 700 home runs.
Fuck yeah!
He hit
That'll give me goosebumps.
Today. Oh yeah,
that'll give me goosebumps.
Is that the best moment you've been in person for? At the game for was Albert's home run when he came back?
Yeah, probably. Yeah, for me personally, absolutely. I think
that was
I've been to a World Series game that in 06, I went to one of the games. It was, the Cardinals won fairly easily. It was fairly inconsequential. I went to a Blues playoff game where they won in overtime, but didn't really care that much. I just care much more about the Cardinals, and obviously Albert Pujols is one of my favorite athletes. So
Warriors are now up 10. As I said, comment your favorite moment in sports wherever you're listening to this. Either find our Twitter, comment on YouTube. Let us know. We'll finish up on this. You said that you mentioned that you're in the process of moving. You made a big purchase. You bought a washer and dryer for your new place.
My experience, we actually went to Home Depot and bought it, and I cannot for the life of me think why you would actually go to one of these stores to buy any of this shit and not buy it online. The amount of time I fucking wasted just standing there waiting for somebody to let me buy this thing from them.
What do you mean?
The fucking person was helping someone else for, whenever you buy an appliance, you got to go sit down at a fucking computer and they have to type up a contract or some bullshit and hand it to you. So they're just sitting there like, this is what I want. Just got to sit here and wait for you to come let me buy it from you.
I've only bought a washer and dryer one time, and I recommend going the used route because it was much less complicated.
Yeah.
We just showed up at some place.
It wasn't complicated. It's just fucking like, this takes too much time.
It was shocking how much you had to try to let someone.
The thing about it is, like, in the time we could have very easily have bought it on our phones for the exact same price as it was in the store in the time we were waiting. But in our minds, we're just like, I just want to make sure the delivery's right and all this shit. And when you buy it online, there's always like, are they going to confirm it? And are we going to have the right address? So we just wanted to wait. It was fine. It worked out. But
did you have it delivered? Did you guys take care of it, or what'd you do?
They're delivering it sometime.
Oh, you don't have it yet.
I think we don't have it yet.
I don't know what you paid, and you don't have to say what you paid for it right now, but whatever the number is, fucking worth it. No shot you're going to go without a washer and dryer. You're not laundromatting this shit.
No, I'm not going to drive my clothes anywhere. I'm not going to put them in my car and take them to another place.
They could have.
I don't live in Manhattan. Like,
right.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't live in a fucking shoebox apartment. If I have the option,
you could,
and I have a job. Like,
I'll pay my soul for a washer and dryer. Like, we're not doing this shit. Have you ever done laundromat life?
No, not laundromat. I've had shared laundry with like a whole floor in an apartment and had to pay for it. So similar, not exactly the same though.
I've done laundromat life in Decatur, Illinois.
That seems like some fun folk, probably.
I was offered drugs more than once.
Nice.
At the laundromat in Decatur. Yeah. Oh, it's just absolute creatures at the laundromat in Decatur.
Anyone that's going to a laundromat needs some sort of pain numbed by illicit
We're passing
drugs.
Time here. We're passing time.
It's a good crowd if you're in the drug selling business. They're dying for the product.
Yeah, I gotta think business is booming.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Honestly, just living in Decatur, Illinois in general, you're fiending
business
to, numb any sort of feeling you have, because they are undoubtedly almost all bad feelings that you have.
Yeah, if I'm living in Decatur, Illinois permanently, I'm probably trying to get away any way I can.
Yeah.
Called it home for a significant portion of my life. That's unfortunate, but it was fun.
What a fun little college town, Decatur, Illinois.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. I wonder what the folks at the winery are doing at LSB. I wonder what they're up to.
Numbing the pain with alcohol and drugs.
Yeah.
Numbing the pain. Oh, man. You ever want to do heroin? Man, people that do heroin, they say it's bad for you, but fuck, they seem like they really like it when they do it.
You come back for more if you do it,
Based on the amount that it fucks people's lives up, it's got to be really good.
It's got to be it's
got to be really good.
Yeah.
Oh, every time I watch the scene in Pulp Fiction where John Travolta does heroin, I'm like, fuck, I kind of want to do some heroin. Looks pretty good.
You should probably not do that.
No, I shouldn't, but I never will because I'm a gigantic pussy, which is unlike what Tin Cup will tell you, actually probably a better way to be than
just go for
brash. No, just go for it. Just do heroin. It's like, no, I can not get addicted to heroin. I have that. I have that.
Moderation.
Dude, I'm strong. I'm stronger than
you're science. A strong-willed man.
90s movies. Men are stronger than science and God. You and your hubris and your male fucking toxic masculinity bullshit, you can power through anything in life.
Yeah.
Never forget that.
That's true. Ooh, we talked about the DGen sports cycle coming to an end. When basketball, it's kind of coming in for me now, but when basketball is over, it really will until baseball gets interesting and football starts. I fucked around and went to the library over the weekend.
Yeah.
I got a book.
I've been fucking exercising.
Have you? That's great.
Yeah, it is. It's
What have you
fucking
been doing?
fucking putting that kettlebell to work, baby. I fucking
Yes.
roll my thing out and I do some squats and some swings and some push-ups and some jumping. I just fucking bought some new running shoes today, so
Are you going to be running?
I'm gonna try to see if my body allows it.
I got an injury, right? I had to take the day off today. I ran yesterday. I had to take the day off. I got one of my biggest fears. I enjoy running. I enjoy people watching and running around in the city. One of my biggest fears is blowing out my Achilles.
Or just an injury where you can't like walk home in general.
No, it's the Achilles. Like it's
Why
that
specifically?
because it's just so like bad and daunting to recover from that I'm just like deathly terrified that it's going to happen to me, and I'm going to spend like 6 months on crutches and in a boot. Yeah, other bad things could happen, like knee, bad, but just
so it's the recovery, not for me, the initial embarrassment of being hurt in public would be the worst part.
Oh, there's definitely. I think that would all be the same though. Like if I blew up my knee, but just like I guess the knee would be bad too, but just the daunting recovery of the Achilles for like a non-elite athlete, like
knock on wood,
a normal person.
It seems like normal people don't tear their Achilles. I could be wrong.
I'm going to stop you there. I'm going to stop you right there. One of my friends that I went to high school with that's a few years older than me, just playing pickup basketball, just blew it, popped it. Shout out Brady Slagle. He did it playing. I saw him last fall, and he was in a boot, had crutches, ruptured his Achilles playing pickup basketball. And it's just like, he's a really good athlete, played college basketball. But just a guy. He's like 32. He's like doesn't have access to all this incredible recovery technology and attention from like round the clock medical. It's just like you're just a guy with a blown Achilles now. It's like a year plus that you're just fucked. What a disaster.
And even after that, you're like
never the same.
Yeah.
Never the same.
Yeah. No,
so that's my biggest fear. And I've been having some soreness.
Well, now I have that fear too. So
I've been having some soreness in my left Achilles. So I've been taking it easy. I've been icing. I've been really
switch up the modes of training. Some less explosive. Do some plyometrics.
The moral of the story is I'm extremely washed up. I'm a shell of myself. I'm a washed up man, and I really don't want to get hurt in an extreme level. So I'm taking it easy. I'm taking it slow.
Yeah,
but I'm glad you're getting back out there. That's good for you.
Yeah, hopefully I don't blow an Achilles. That would be bad. Hopefully I don't blow anything. Hopefully all my things stay.
Hey, folks, listen to your body. Listen to your body. Don't push it. You're not a hero. What are you training for? It'll be there tomorrow.
Yeah, that's my thing with most people. It's like, what are you training to do? Why are you killing yourself for this? And the answer is they just like it, which is fucking insane to me.
Yeah, don't force it, guys. Don't be a hero.
Yeah. You work at Goldman Sachs. You don't need to be able to tomahawk dunk.
Yeah, you don't want to drive to work in a boot.
No, your men's league game's going to go the same whether you don't want to be
helped up. You don't want to be helped up the stairs for a year. You just take it easy. Don't rush it. But yeah. Anyways, where I started, I picked up a book. If anyone start a little book club on the podcast, the Boys of Summer by I think Roger. His last name's Kahn. Roger Kahn, maybe. The Boys. It's about the 1950s Dodgers. Something light. It's about 400 pages. I'm going to crack into it. I think I'm going to alternate some like nonfiction, probably sports type stuff like that. Maybe some like memoirs, biography type stuff, along with the nonfiction sports stories type stuff, and then I'll mix in some like bullshit thriller, fantasy, fiction type stuff. So if anyone wants to read along, I'll probably never talk about it on here, but if might bring it up once or twice.
I might,
Could be,
yeah.
could be a fun
I
read.
should probably
Ooh.
read too.
I asked you about your dad's a big reader. He has a nice book collection. Did you ever ask him about his favorite?
No, I never did. I'm trying to
Maybe
think
we'll
off the
talk
top of
about
my
that on
head
the next podcast.
of ones that he's liked.
I think
I wanted to read after watching that Lakers show on HBO is to read the book that's semi based on. I think that would be much better. A lot of people like that show. I did not really like it. I'd be interested what your opinion of it is. It is not
I've never
bad,
been so fired up to watch it. Maybe I'll now. Is it done? Is it finished?
Yeah, it's all done.
All right, maybe I'll binge it. Maybe I'll binge it and watch it for the next.
Thing is like, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what they'll do next season. I've heard that the next season will be like Kobe and Shaq Lakers, which I don't like really.
You know what I just thought about? The new episode of Barry is probably coming out like right now.
Yeah, it is.
Cool. I'm gonna go watch that. I'll binge the Lakers first season. We'll talk about it on the next episode.
Okay. Yeah. He likes that book.
I want to read. Drew was talking about Shoe Dog, the Phil Knight, the Nike.
Yeah, I've read that. Actually, it's very good.
Pretty good. I'll probably read that.
His story is fucking wild.
I'll probably do that one.
Jackie McMullen's book about Larry Bird and Magic Johnson. My dad liked that one, I believe.
Okay.
I find that if you read a biography about any like 1950s baseball player, they all are fucking wild. Like a Mickey Mantle biography,
wild stories,
a Joe DiMaggio biography.
Baseball back in the day was just the Wild West. There's just wild shit happening every single day. You could do
abhorrent shit and nobody would know about it.
Yeah.
Even to like not even that long ago. Like in the 90s,
I think this book's gonna be pretty good. It follows like Duke Snyder and obviously Jackie Robinson after they win the World Series throughout that into. So there'll be a lot of good stories.
Fuck yeah.
So, I'm a reader now, folks. I'm a well-rounded human.
Smartest podcast going.
Smartest podcast in the game, some are saying. Get educated.
Yeah.
Anything else?
I don't think so.
All right. Like it. Tell your friends about it. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.